Should we
Okay,
get
should we start?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Ricardo Moore. I work at Bakehouse Art Complex and I assist on grants, communications, and many other capacities over here. Welcome to the Summer Open Info Session. So we would like for everyone to introduce themselves so you can get a little bit to know a little bit more about the panelists.
So I'll go first. My name is Laura Novoa and I'm the Curatorial Public Programs Associate here at Bakehouse. So I do everything from kind of artist relations and residency, logistics to exhibitions and installations. So, Tom, you're muted.
We can't hear you, Tom.
So I'm Thomas Bils. I'm one of the I've been a Bakehouse resident for about 3 years now, and I'm one of the co-developers for the summer painting program.
Hi everyone, I'm Beatriz Chachamovits. I'm an artist at Bakehouse too, and I participated last year in the Summer Open.
Okay, great. So thanks for everyone for being on this call. So let's get this presentation started. One moment, please. So as some of you might already know, Bakehouse Art Complex is a large, one of the largest nonprofits based in Miami dedicated to visual artists. Right now, we were founded in 1986. Right now we're in our 35th season. We have supported over 1,500 artists through the use of studio spaces and art making facilities in Miami. Right now, we serve over 100 artists, 70 of them through studio spaces, and then additional 40 through access to our art making facilities through our associate artist program. So the reason we're here is to tell you more about Summer Open. Summer Open was conceived in 2020 as a way for us to expand the use of our campus to more artists. As you know, Miami has a scarcity of artist studios, and it's become exceedingly rare for artists to have opportunities to have free studio space or affordable options. So this was created as a way for us to expand the use of our campus to more artists, specifically in the summer months when many artists are here producing work. So this summer, we'll be providing 10 artists with free communal workspace and shared access to our art making facilities, including our print room, our dark room, our ceramics room, and our kilns, and woodworking and welding areas. The participants will be utilizing the organization's largest exhibition space, which is the Audrey Love Gallery, which is over 2,000 square feet. And they'll be using it as a communal studio with a dedicated section for each artist. And every artist will have 24 access to the studio space in addition to our art making facilities. And in addition to that, we will be offering opportunities for creative and professional development. You'll be able to engage with other artists within the Bakehouse community, and you'll be connected with working professionals in the field here in Miami. And so, Tom, let's kick it over to you.
Right. So the one of the original ideas that I had for the Summer Open Residency and what is carrying on into this year is that we felt like the best use of that space during these summer months would be to open it up and allow primarily emerging artists with you know, a lot of like fresh out of BFA or other artists to be able to like utilize the space and use it as sort of an open community studio area so that they can get like more of a foothold into this growing Miami art community. So last year, what we did was, I think the number was 12. We've limited it down to 10 now. Is we're gonna open the space up. It's like very, you know, kind of like an open air office type of style. Everyone gets their taped off space, and you know, more or less, just kind of like let everyone run wild for the 12 weeks of residency, and you know, build community and build network and be able to tap each other, into one another's studios to like help solve problems. In my experience, there is a time for solitude studio practice, and there is a time for like open source communal studio practice. And this open source communal studio practice is the opportunity that we at Bakehouse are trying to create more of an access to. Oh, is this my slide too? We're aiming for artists working in Miami-Dade. Maybe later we'll open up to wider than that, but for logistic purposes, we're keeping it to Miami-Dade County artists at this point. And while we are looking for artistic merit and some sort of feet on the ground, we're actually really not looking for like mid-career established artists. We're looking for emerging artists who we believe would be able to get the most opportunity out of this summer residency. And while it's not required, because like everyone has like varying life situations, some work, some don't, some live on the other side of town. We are looking for artists who are planning to utilize the space to a full potential. And while it doesn't necessarily mean specific projects or upcoming exhibitions, there should be somewhat of an idea coming into the application process about why you think the summer residency would be a good opportunity for you. And it goes without saying that our previous residents cannot apply this year, just to avoid any sort of monopoly on the space. So this is the setup that we are planning to use for this year's. This is our largest exhibition space, the Audrey Love Gallery, with the main door you can see is at the bottom left. And it should be able to offer ample amount of studio working space, as well as the area marked red left, so that the resident artists and visiting curators or gallerists or other artists can be able to peruse and view what our residents are working on at the time.
And so Laura will share a little bit about some of the projects that some of the artists developed in their time.
Yes, so again, thank you all for being here today with us. As Tom mentioned, we don't necessarily expect you to apply with a specific project idea or exhibition idea in mind, but we have found that those artists who participated last year, who were working specifically towards a project or a specific goal, that we felt they got probably their best got the best use out of the space. And one of those people was Amanda Linares, who has an installation at Bakehouse at the moment. She was actually working towards her BFA installation at Bakehouse during the summer open, and unfortunately it was canceled due to COVID. So during our fall programming, we actually found some space that was available, and she set up her installation here at Bakehouse. So she spent the summer working on this installation called Between Islands and Peninsulas. And as you can see, it has elements that kind of configure into a table. So she was using our wood shop. Tom actually offered some workshops in the wood shop. And she was also using our dark room for some of the photography. So she was really able to benefit from the space during her time at Bakehouse, and it ended up with an installation in our stage area. Another of the artists that participated in the program was William Osorio, who actually has an exhibition currently on view at LNS Gallery in Coconut Grove, near Coconut Grove in Coral Gables. And he was actually working on the pieces in this exhibition during his time in Summer Open. And unfortunately, like Amanda, due to COVID, his exhibition had been pushed back until now. So from December to now March. But he actually spent the time at Bakehouse working on the works that are now featured in this exhibition. So you can see those there. And kind of just segueing to Beatriz, who's on the call with us or on the Zoom with us. She was also working on a specific project. So I'll kind of hand this over to her so she can talk a little bit about her personal experience.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. So this is a view of my solo show that was, it happened because of the Summer Open. So last year when we first did, the first inaugural Summer Open was more focused on painting. And for me, it was a great opportunity because I have been wanting to focus more on creating paintings and two-dimensional works since I've been working with ceramics since I got to Bakehouse 2 years ago. But then it was, in that way, it was super interesting for me to have the space and the time during the Summer Open, because then I could focus only on developing paintings and 2D works that later on, I got an invitation to do my first solo show here in the US. So because of being part of the Summer Open, that also segued into my first solo show. So that was, I obviously came into the program with the idea of creating my paintings and a series of paintings that I wanted to develop during the Summer Open. And because of that, then I had some studio visits and gallerists and like connections and networking. And that happened. Isabel from Core Contemporary ended up inviting me to do a solo show with her in the gallery, and that I mostly featured everything that I created during the Summer Open, which was pretty amazing, like to just do a residency for 3 months and then be able to have a solo show, which by the way was curated by Laura. And that was also a partnership that developed through my being in Bakehouse and specifically through the Summer Open, because she was also doing regular visits with us and talking with us about our work. And in one of our conversations, when I had the opportunity to think about the solo show, we both decided that would be awesome if she could curate it. So apart from having an objective proposal for being a part of the program, for me, the most amazing thing that happened was community. And it was clearly like a Hail Mary situation during COVID to be able to be in a space with other people while a bunch of people were isolated. So for me, it was a privilege, like huge privilege to be able to be part of the Summer Open in that way, that not just creating artwork and having exhibitions, but at the same time, meeting new people, making friends, talking about art, and having this interaction that we really do need as artists. Even though solitude creation is amazing, sometimes we just need to be together and talk about our works. So I think that is the most special thing from the Summer Open that I got once I participated. And I think, Laura, it's back to you.
So just quick, and thank you, Beatriz, but just quickly some important information, deadlines, and times that you need to be aware of. The deadline to apply for the Summer Open is Monday, April 12th at 5 p.m. EST. There is no cost for applying, and there's no cost to attend the program. And selected applicants will be notified by mid-May. The program will begin Monday, June 21st, 2021, and end on September 13th, 2021. And as per last year, we usually give you about 5 to 7 days time from the day it ends to, gather your stuff and move out of the space. So you have a couple extra days after that September 13th date to move out. And the application can be accessed right here on this link at bacfl.org/summer /summer open, and any questions could be directed to our email apply@bacfl.org. So I see we have a question. Please feel free to throw some questions our way using the Q&A function or the chat. And let me take a look at this first question. So we received a question: are there events or planned community gatherings for artists to connect during their residency? So at the moment, we are planning some gatherings. They're all tentative, depending on the COVID situation. We also have to respect the fact that some people are still concerned. We care about the safety and health of all our artists, but really, as Tom, Beatriz mentioned, the point of this program is really to feel part of a community. So not only do we want you to get to know those that are part of the cohort or of the group of people that come in through the summer open, but we will facilitate moments where you will be able to meet with our current studio residents as well as associate members. So we will definitely facilitate those opportunities safely for everyone. And Tom and I will also be discussing some opportunities to have you meet local curators and perhaps visit some institutions nearby, since we're located in a great place near the ICA, near MoCA, near other galleries. So those things will definitely be part of the residency.
I think, and also just to jump in on the tail end of that, it goes without saying that you know, a lot of the artists that we have currently in the Bakehouse and the more permanent studios are almost entirely like very friendly and are more than excited to get to know the new batch of our residents that we'll have during the summer residency. So, you know, once you move in, there's really no reason not to just, you know, like knock on somebody's door, you know, when maybe, you know, the time is appropriate, and just like, you know, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm working in the Audrey Love Gallery this summer, and you know, everybody I know as a fellow artist at Bakehouse loves having guests like that.
And Tom, I think you mentioned a lot of our artists really who are here based at Bakehouse really loved having artists in a gallery space, which is, you know, before last summer was unoccupied or had, you know, an exhibition that, you know, was being shown, but like there's life in that space. So our artists are continually like passing by and saying hello. So these kind of connections really formed organically. So, so let's see. If your project is collaborative and includes artists that were a part of the inaugural opening or others, can you still work with them if your submission is accepted? So if I'm understanding the question correctly, could you work with, if you're accepted into the program, could you work with artists who are not part of the program if your project is collaborative? And let me know if I understood that correctly. If your project is collaborative in nature, or if you want to have guests, yes, you're welcome to. We do have some protocol in place when we have guests, because we're still kind of monitoring and managing due to COVID, but you're welcome to have guests in the space at this moment during certain times of the day. So our public or opening hours are 12 to 5. If those times don't work for you, we're a 24-hour facility, so we're always flexible. We just ask that you follow protocol and sign people in for contact tracing purposes. But it's, you know, it's definitely encouraged that, like, you know, if you have projects that are going on that involve other people, other artists, we encourage those collaborations.
I also think that this is an opportune moment to mention something that Loda and I have talked about in previous meetings, is when applying to this residency, it's important to take in mind that this is a shared space. It's going to be 10 artists, you know, and albeit a large room, it's still one room. So, you know, if it's a collaborative project that involves, you know, like a large amount of people and, you know, a large amount of space, that might begin to sort of infringe on, you know, like the, like, you know, your other neighbors next to you in the studio space. the summer open might not be the best. It's just worth noting that this is going to be a communal space with you know, a lot of elbows rubbing, at least by, you know, the standards of COVID or post-COVID. So collaborative projects are welcome, but just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we should probably stress is that you know, this program is really designed for individual artists to sort of create space and create community within a cohort of 10 artists. So, and the amount of space that each artist gets is about maybe a little over 100 square feet. So it would be hard, so that while we encourage you to have like an individual artist have collaboration while they're here, that it's not really designed for more than one person per section. So can you, they're asking if can you work with artists who've already been in the program? So Tom and Laura, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, that's a question we never really considered before.
They're really testing us now.
Yeah, throwing a curveball.
Yeah, send us an email to the apply at inbox. It sounds like it's a very specific question to your case.
We'll take a specific amount of attention to the application during the deliberations process.
And just, you know, just like to wrap up all that we've said, including, you know, being conscious of that you're working in a communal space, while we also encourage collaboration. It's just, again, you're in a communal space. We encourage you to communicate with those people that are around you. If you're gonna have, you know, someone in the space, a meeting, whatever, just be like, hey guys, this is happening. And it really just, it is meant to be your space and community. So take ownership over that, and, you know, just be kind to your neighbors and let them know that, you know, this is happening. So we encourage, like I said, collaboration, participation with people inside the space, and those that are not part of the space, just be conscientious. So we have a question, should I send my letters of recommendation? So we are not asking for any recommendations. We, like I said, we're really just looking at artistic merit, just coming from, like, do you have some kind of practice that you've been developing over time? We're really keen to know how you're going to be using the space, just because there is a limit of available space in Miami. So we really want to provide this opportunity for people that will get the most out of it. But we don't need any, we're not requiring any letters of recommendation or any references for this round. So what if the artist has a day job? Can they still apply, or do they have to be a full-time artist? So Tom, do you want to go?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who knows me knows I like work, you know, full-time and above, and, you know, my day job is a butcher. So I think to ask for emerging artists and also ask for people who don't have day jobs would limit our application pool to almost zero. So, you know, like, day jobbers absolutely come through. And
that being said, we do want you to use the space to the best of your capacity. We understand that everyone has different life situations, different schedules. We are a 24-hour facility. Our artists have 24-hour access. You know, some of our artists are here during the day, some are here at night, and you'll start developing schedules and patterns that fit to your lifestyle. When we say that we want to know how, we ask approximately in our application how many hours you'll be here. It's just so that we can gauge, you know, usage of space, but we're not going to prevent or expect only full-time artists to apply. That's not really the intent of the program. So you're welcome to apply if you have a full-time or not full-time job. Could we organize with other members of the Bakehouse demos on certain machinery and tools such as welding? Yes. I got together with some of our, so each of our facilities, each of our shared facilities, which include a dark room, a print room, a wood shop, a metal shop, a ceramics room, and kilns. Did I miss any? if I had interest from any of the artists in the Summer Open, I got together with our managing artists for these facilities, and they were more than happy to do a demo for the artists. You know, it'd be great if it could be a group of people so that they're not doing it on on one-offs, but it's definitely possible and encouraged that if there's interest amongst the cohort for, a session in the wood shop or a session in the metal shop. The metal shops, we need to take more precautions because it's intense machinery. But, in the ceramics room, dark room, print room, our artists would be more than the managing artists would be more than happy, I'm sure, to do demonstrations and to do workshops for you. So I don't have any other questions for the moment. Tom, Beatriz, Ricky, have we missed anything? Is there anything we should mention?
I would like to emphasize that so some of you some of you may be new to the program, but some of you may not or know about the program from last year. So this program is slightly different from last year, and we touched on it briefly, but the inaugural Summer Open was dedicated to artists working in painting and two-dimensional media primarily. And so we've opened up the program to artists working in any visual arts medium. And so we encourage applicants who didn't apply last year because they didn't fit into this box of two-dimensional media to apply this year. And we'll be looking and evaluating the protocols and the artists more broadly this year.
I did have someone email me a question, which some of you might be wondering. We don't limit you if you have any travel plans because of work or personal, that's no problem. But if you do get selected for the program, we do ask that you notify us that you'll be traveling, and we do ask that you present a negative COVID test upon return, just because as a communal studio, we do really need to be conscientious of, if people are traveling, considering that there's going to be 10 of you in the space. So we do ask, no details necessary, just that you let us know that you're traveling and that you present a negative COVID test upon return so that we can guarantee the safety and health of everyone involved, just until, I don't know how the situation will be in June, but at the moment, that's the protocol that we'll be kind of following. So I don't know if anyone else has a question, but as we mentioned, if you have a very specific question or a particular situation, please feel free to email us at apply@bacfl.org. We're really looking forward to this year's program, and we hope that you'll apply.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's all for now. Or now we have a question. Okay, just a thank you. Thank you all for attending. Yeah, I hope everyone that's participated in today's Zoom will apply.
Yes, please apply. It's awesome.
Alrighty. Thank you all. Thank you, Beatriz. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Ricky.
Sure.